I scream, you scream, we all scream for Tim Hortons. Hello, food freaks, and welcome to That's Rank. My name's Chris, and if you're feeling the early effects of brain freeze, it's because Tim Hortons has released 5 new ice cream flavors across freezer sections in Canada, and it has quickly become the most talked about quintet since Ginger left the other Spice Girls. Sure, Look at Me might not have been a colossal hit, but damn if it wasn't catchy. I stand with your decision to leave the group, Jerry Halliwell. Now, of course, much like the Spice Girls, Tim Hortons has struggled to maintain their highest degree of popularity, which peaked in the 1990s when they held nearly 80% of Canada's coffee business. Aggressive expansion by Starbucks, followed by McDonald's stealing their coffee beans, and a failed merger with Wendy's has seen the brand swim aimlessly upstream in an attempt to regain its identity. Now, ice cream seems like a completely illogical path, but the Iced Capp, invented back in 1999, has been one of their biggest sellers over the last 2 decades, so maybe frozen treats are the secret to fast food dominance. I'll be diving in spoon deep to find out if these are in fact worth your time as we check out these 5 flavors. Birthday cake Timbits, salted caramel Iced Capp, apple fritter donut, double chocolate donut, and fruit explosion muffin. All right, what do you say we hit it before we thaw out like the spring? Well, happy birthday to me. Of course, it's not my birthday, at least not for another 2 weeks, but ice cream doesn't know that. In fact, that doesn't apply to just this treat. Did you know that you can order a birthday cake at the store any time of year that you want? When I first started dating my wife, we once got a birthday cake and had them write "Happy Birthday Big Papi" without any consideration as to whether or not David Ortiz was celebrating. We'd have offered him a slice, but have you seen the size of that man? He'd have swallowed it whole like a human Dyson. Would you look at that? Lots of colorful looking sprinkles in there, but sprinkles are just for show. They don't actually taste like anything. It's a trick that advertisers use to lure children in. It's kind of like the Teletubbies in that regard, because if you strip those colorful costumes away, all you've got is a bunch of adults talking gibberish to a baby that lives inside the sun, and you realize, holy crap, everyone here is on acid. You know, one day your kid is going to be saying things like big hugs, and the next day they're going to be injecting heroin directly into their eyeballs that they bought from their dealer named Tinky Winky. Where were we? Oh yes, sprinkles. You know, they're colorful, they're fun, and apparently there's a donut in here too. So let's see how this goes. Get a donut piece there. Cheers. Do you know what this ice cream tastes like right here? I reviewed Dunkaroos a few months ago, and I was wildly disappointed by the fact it didn't hold up to my childhood memories. That's this ice cream right here, although in a good way, even though I'm comparing it to a product that I totally slagged. Am I making sense to you right now? If I'm spewing nonsense, it's because I just saw my friend Tinky Winky. Now, the actual donut pieces in here are not Timbits, I don't think, but they still taste sort of vanilla-like, and even though it's mixed with vanilla ice cream, we've got some crazy vanilla on vanilla action happening right now, it mixes really well together. It's cake, it's ice cream, you know, what's to hate? This is an excellent baseline to compare all the others to today. Let's rate this a 78 out of 100. It's really good, but I feel like there's still a long way to go before we climb to the top. Salted caramel Iced Capp. Admittedly, I'm a little bit surprised they didn't go with the original Iced Capp, which is their best seller inside the Iced Capp library, but maybe they couldn't ice creamify it as easily as they could the salted caramel. I'm sure there's reasons, right? I mean, Tim Hortons doesn't ever do anything wrong. I mean, nothing besides the wedge fries, the poutine, the specialty drinks, the chicken strips, the croissant sandwich, the hash browns, the mac and cheese, the Nutella cookie, and the lids on their cups. Salted caramel is good, though. The salted caramel Iced Capp is a seriously underrated menu item, so I've got faith in you, Timmies. But seriously, fix your damn cup lids. Ooh, right away, there is a very strong caramel scent that's coming out of here, and in a really good way. And do you see that there? There is a caramel ripple that's sort of strewn throughout the ice cream, and if there's more inside, we might be onto something here. Oh yeah, there's additional caramel ripples. You can see that in the middle. Pro tip. If you're almost 40, don't chew your ice cream, it hurts. That right there is a really tasty ice cream. It's got really good balance there. There's enough salt to gently counteract and complement the heavy sugar caramel. It's sweet, it's decadent, lots of big pieces of caramel throughout. You know, they're not cheaping out on the good stuff here. However, I'm not tasting a whole lot of coffee, which is a little bit odd given that the Iced Capp is a blend of coffee and sugar. But still, you know, for a caramel ice cream, this is aces right here. Man, I'm gonna ratchet this one all the way up to an 87 because we are getting super close to a special promised land. We still have a bit of room to get better, but this is really well done. Good job, guys. Apple fritter. One of the longtime favorites on the Tim Hortons lineup of donuts. You know, I'm a little surprised they've never actually migrated this flavor into a Timbit because I'm sure it would be an immediate best seller. Though maybe it's because the actual fritter itself doesn't have a donut hole, so maybe that's the problem. No hole, no Timbit. That was my motto in college, and I stand by it today. Were you aware that the apple fritter actually just relaunched at Tim Hortons? I personally had no idea, but apparently like a month ago, Timmy's redid their Boston cream and apple fritter donuts. Apparently there's now 40% more apples, although the press release was a little confusing because it almost sounded like they're now packing apples into their Boston cream as well. Check this out. We're always looking for ways to improve everything on our menu, even the classics. Canadians already love the apple fritter and Boston cream, and now we've made them even more delicious by adding tons more apples and filling into those two donuts. Look, I realize the press release was just really poor wordsmithing, but I'd die if headquarters read that and took it literally. And at least the drive-thru workers would be faced with a whole new series of complaints that weren't, hey, why is there a smear of cream cheese across the side of my coffee cup? Or, I asked for a double-double, not a steep tea served in a chili bowl. Check that out. You can see that there are some nice big apple caramel pieces in there. And I chewed the ice cream again after promising that I wouldn't. So they're doing something here that I really appreciate, which is rather than just break up some donut pieces in here and call it a day, what they've actually done is put some cinnamon-rich ripples in here throughout the ice cream. Like, look, are you seeing that right there? That is a whole lot of cinnamon. And that combined with the appley donut, like, I absolutely love this. I'm a basic guy with basic needs, and apples are basic but great. That said, I don't love it as much as the salted caramel, but it's damn close. So let's go ahead and give this an 85. So far, so good from Timmy's, just knocking one out after another. Can we possibly keep this up? Now, admittedly, and one of these days we'll do an affirmative ranking of all the Tim Hortons donuts so that we can sort this one out once and for all, but the double chocolate donut is not one of my favorites. The chocolate glazed donut is far superior because Timmy's base donuts are actually just a little bit underwhelming. That is, of course, my opinion, but it's also the correct opinion. All right, so taking a look on this, you can see that we have gone full chocolate on chocolate on chocolate on chocolate. And hey, did I mention the chocolate? You see me chewing again? I don't learn. Yeah, that's too much. Look, if you're a chocoholic, then cool, have at it. The chocolate ice cream is actually fine. It's basically in line with any standard chocolate ice cream that you find on the market. But then it's got that chocolate syrup and donut pieces throughout, and it's just too much of the exact same thing. I think if they'd done like a vanilla ice cream with the donut and the syrup, that would have catapulted this into the stratosphere because you'd have some nice contrast and balance in this ice cream. I'm just not the kind of guy who's ever gonna see the words triple chocolate brownie and think, I need that inside me right now. You chocolate people really need to diversify a little bit. This gets a 62 because it's a perfectly acceptable ice cream, but way below the other options that we've had today. Look, if you're in need of a chocolate hit, then go get something from Häagen-Dazs. Make it worth your time, don't get this. And now finally today, the Fruit Explosion Muffin. This one is wildly intriguing to me because back in my early 20s when I first started working a regular full-time Monday to Friday job, the Fruit Explosion Muffin was often my go-to for breakfast. You know, it really was a triumph for a muffin with lots of fruit bits and then biting into that midsection with all that fruit jam filling. It's fantastic. These days, if I get a muffin, which admittedly is really rare, but if I do, it's almost certainly gonna be the Raisin brand muffin. So many people go to Tim Hortons and defer to the chocolate chip muffin, and that is such a sucker move, guys. The batter for their chocolate chip muffin is just weird and gritty and dry. It's like gnawing on talcum powder. Oh, and please do not get me started on their blueberry muffin unless you want to spend the day at the office doing the green apple two-step to and from the bathroom. I've seen more trots come from that thing than a horse's show. That one is the real fruit explosion. All right, it looks like it's got some swirls of berries strewn throughout this, and apparently there are some cakey muffin pieces in the middle, all playing directly into my wheelhouse if I can get me some of that. Got a bite with a little bit of everything. Whoops, you can see the cakey pieces down a little bit there. I'm chewing again. Well, there it is. This is the winner right here. You know, I've put off filming this episode for like a month now because I couldn't find the Fruit Explosion ice cream anywhere, and I didn't want to make a video with only 4 of the 5 releases. And I am glad I waited because this is awesome. So according to this, it's got raspberries, blackberries, strawberries, blueberries, elderberry juice, and black currants, which all go together so well. And then you mix in these awesome cakey pieces. It is just brilliant execution. This is a 90 for me and the triumphant winner of today's competition. Well, I gotta say, I'm very pleasantly surprised. Not just with this ice cream, but with the entire lineup altogether, except for really the chocolate. I didn't come into today's episode with any expectations because it's Tim's and ice cream. But this stuff, it gets the job done. All lots of really good flavors, really tasty delivery. I'm impressed. And speaking of things that are getting the job done, your only job is to hit the subscribe button on this channel and like this video. Doing so helps me out and it gets you access to all the content that I release first. Thank you, as always, for all your ongoing support, and I will catch y'all on the next one. Ciao for now.